Welcome to another episode. Today I will show you the new Stable Audio 3 model that let you create music and sound effects. Are you ready to party? But first, you need to update Easy Installer to get the latest version of the installer and Pixaroma nodes. After that, you need to update ComfyUI because the Stable Audio 3 models are new, and the old ComfyUI nodes do not recognize the models. You will get a dictionary error or something. That way you know you need to update. Then you can get the workflows for free from Discord or GitHub, and then you can place them in the workflows folder, like I have them here in this folder. Then you can find them on the left in workflows. You can refresh from here if ComfyUI was already open. So let me start with a simple one that makes audio from simple text. We need two models. One is the Stable Audio 3 Medium model. It has around 8 GB in size, and you need to download it into the checkpoints folder. To keep it organized, you can make a folder there called Stable Audio 3, where you put the model. The second model is a T5 Gemma model. That one is smaller, and it goes into the text encoders folder. After the download is ready, you refresh by pressing the R key, and then you should be able to see the model in the list for Stable Audio 3 and also the T5 Gemma model in the Load Clip node. Load Clip uses stable audio from the dropdown in this case, not stable diffusion. Then I put the prompt and the duration you want for the audio here, so they are easy to access, but you can remove that if you want. You also have the duration in the empty latent audio node, and you can add the prompt in the clip text encode node. But I like to have all the things I need to edit on the left, and the results on the right. Then for the prompt, you describe the type of music you want. It can only do instrumentals, no lyrics, but it can also do sound effects, which other music models cannot. For duration, it can do from 1 to 380 seconds, but from what I saw, anything over 2 minutes starts to use more VRAM, and it can take more time. But if you keep it under 2 minutes, it is quite fast. I will keep it at 30 seconds for this tutorial. Then for the K sampler, these are the settings recommended by the ComfyUI team, and they seem to work okay with these. The first time you run it, it is slower because it loads the model, but after that, it should be quite fast. You get the audio result in this node, and you can play it. The resulting audio is saved in the output folder, in the audio subfolder, but you can rename that. You can also rename the prefix for the audio. So now, if I run it again on my 24 GB VRAM card, it is quite fast. If I go now to the console and look at the time, you can see it takes under 2 seconds for a 30-second audio. But like I said, I usually keep it around 120 to 150 seconds, because if I put more, it can get stuck sometimes. I am not sure why. You can see it will stay a long time on VAE decode, and instead of taking 2 seconds, it can take a minute or more. Another thing you can try if this happens to you is to replace the VAE decode audio node that you have now with the tiled version. So instead of this node, you use this node, and it should work a little better with lower VRAM. So let me put 120 seconds instead now, and run it again. You will see it is generating quite fast, in a few seconds. I am changing it back to 30 seconds, since that is a good duration for testing. Then, on the left, I made a note with prompt examples so you can test different types of audio. You can use this scroll bar to see all the prompts, and to make it easy to copy, you just hover over the prompt. On the right, you get a copy button that you can click. Then, on this node, you can just press the replace button to replace the prompt and run it to get an audio file. Even if this stable audio model is not the best when it comes to music, I can get cool sound effects with it, so for that, it is really worth a try. So, as you can see, it can do a variety of sound effects and can be quite useful for game design, applications, and adding sound effects to your videos. Let me show you another workflow where I added a Gemma 4 model. For this one, I have a formula for Gemma 4, similar to what you saw in the previous episode, but this time it will create an audio prompt instead of an image prompt. You have this extra Gemma model that you need, and that takes another 8 GB, so you need more VRAM to run both the audio model and the Gemma model. You load that Gemma 4 model here, so I gave it a simple piano prompt, and then I run the workflow. This text generate node will generate a new and better prompt for me, which can be previewed in this node. Then that prompt is used in the text encode node, and after that, it will generate the audio. For the next workflow, I did the same thing, but I changed the formula so it does not generate music, but sounds instead. So if I put something simple, like the sound of a man walking in the snow, and I run the workflow, I will get a better prompt for that, and then the audio is generated. For the last workflow, I wanted to do an experiment. So I was thinking, if Gemma 4 can do music prompts, what would happen if I loaded an image and got a music prompt based on what it sees in that image? So I loaded this bunny image. The text generate node is using this formula to look at the image and generate a music prompt that could fit. Then we get the prompt, and when we run it, that prompt is used to generate music. It is not perfect, but I got some interesting results. And some more updates on Pixaroma nodes. Now, when you click on the node and go to Pixaroma colors, you have a few folders with color swatches organized by color, so I can select a green one if I want. Another thing that you asked for was the ability to copy an existing color, then select another node and paste that color. So now it is easy to just copy and paste colors. You can also still go to the Pick Custom option and select the colors you want for the node. Then you can copy that new color and paste it on one node or on more nodes if you selected multiple nodes. Another thing you can do is save up to 4 favorites. You can see them here from 1 to 4, and then you have those colors easy to access next time. So you can just right-click, go to Color, and select your favorite color. It should be really easy to use. I also extended the colors to groups. Groups can support only one color and have that transparency, so I do not have too much control over how they look, except for the color. Of course, you can copy a group color and paste it to another group. You can also go and pick a custom color, but because of that transparency, it might look a little different. And I did some changes to the Load Image node too. One thing to remember after you update Pixaroma nodes is that some things might remain in the browser cache, so you need to press Ctrl+Shift+R, maybe a few times, to clear that cache and see the node updates. You can easily see the input size and ratio and what it will output. If you click the drop-down, you can see the images in the input folder, but now with a small preview to see what each image is. On the left, you have the subfolders found in the input folder. I also added a filter so you can type a word and filter those images more easily. Each time you change a size, you will see how the output is changing. For pad, I also added some manual options. So now I put the default color to gray, but you can click on it to change it and then add some pixels on the right side. When I run the workflow, I get that gray part. It can be useful for outpainting and inpainting. I can add a few more pixels on the left if I want, and so on. You get the idea. You also have a reset button here that resets those values.
That is all for today. I hope you liked this stable audio episode. Thank you, legends, and everyone who subscribed to the membership. If you found something useful, leave a like and a comment to help with the YouTube algorithm. Have a great day.